Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Audiobook Dynasty. If you want early access and even more parts for free, make sure to join me on Patreon. Chapter 16 to 16, The Seed of Hatred. Amegakure Village's Angel, hiss. You guys won't believe what I just saw. Konan sounded excited, like a kid eager to share a secret. Dijin artist, what? What happened? Curly-haired guy, judging by that tone, don't tell me you just saw Aizen's golden mushroom? This is an actor? Scarlet Lotus Fairy? Dijin artist, Jin-san, you really need to get your head checked. Also, why enoki mushrooms? Shouldn't it be something like Matsutake? This is an actor. Curly-haired guy, humph, foolish Eriri. Have you forgotten Aizen's current age? That guy is still just a kid, there's no way he's reached the level of a Matsutake. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, what are you guys even talking about? Dijin artist, ahem. Nothing, we got sidetracked. More importantly, what exactly did Konan see? Amegakure Village's Angel, Soul Resurrection. I saw Aizen awaken a sleeping soul with my own eyes. Curly-haired guy, that's not really surprising coming from Aizen, is it? Dijin artist, yeah, I mean, all those Erankars in his army were originally dead, right? Amegakure Village's Angel, it's different. I didn't see him create the Erankars firsthand, but this time, I actually watched him awaken a soul. The feeling was, beyond words. This is an actor, I get what you mean. Konan said it was beyond words, but Aizen knew the truth. The whole time, she had kept a completely blank expression. It seemed her acting skills had improved again, she could now hide her inner thoughts even better. Aizen's lips curled slightly, feeling rather pleased. But then, a curse rang out in the distance, making him frown. He looked over and saw a scruffy blonde-haired boy. The kid looked no older than 5 or 6, with light blue eyes and a round face that still carried a hint of childishness. His skin was pale and a bit yellowish, as if he wasn't eating properly. A child like that would usually make people feel sympathy. But instead, all he heard around him were curses and insults. That damn fox again. He's the one who killed my parents. Damn brat, why don't you just drop dead? The boy didn't say a word in response. He simply picked up the rice ball that had fallen to the ground, now covered in dust and dirt, and silently walked away. Aizen exhaled. From somewhere behind him, he could feel waves of hostility. Of course, it wasn't directed at him, it was aimed at the people cursing the boy, as well as those lurking in the shadows. Those people were the Umbu that Sarutobi Hiruzen had stationed around the boy. Their job was to keep him safe from danger. But clearly, the villagers' hatred didn't count as danger in their book. Do you see it now? This is the reality you wanted to confirm. Aizen seemed to be speaking to himself, yet at the same time, it felt like he was talking to someone else. I wonder, does this reality satisfy you, Kushina? A low hum echoed in response. As if answering him, the hostility in the air grew even stronger. No need to be impatient. Aizen stepped forward casually, as if taking a leisurely stroll, and walked in the same direction as the boy. The long night may seem endless, but dawn will always come. Try to keep up with me, I will become the new Sunday. Dijin artist, Kushina. Aizen actually brought Kushina's soul back. What's he trying to do? Is he going to turn her into an Erankar too? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Kushina, as in Uzumaki Naruto's mother? Dijin artist, yeah, and she was also the 4th Hokage's wife. That's why I don't get it, wouldn't making someone like her his subordinate be too risky? Curly-haired guy, not necessarily. Maybe he just wants to collect her. This is an actor? Dijin artist, what do you mean by collect? Curly-haired guy, you know exactly what I mean. Dijin artist, hey, where are you even getting that idea from? Curly-haired guy, it's simple. From what we saw in Bleach, Aizen has zero interest in young girls. He had Momo Hinamori practically worshipping him, and he still stabbed her without hesitation, what a waste. So, what if, he's actually into mature women instead? Amegakure Village's Angel, no way. Is Aizen really like that? Dijin artist, this is all just your own wild guess. There's no real proof. Curly-haired guy, ha. Behind that refined and elegant image, there's a wild and untamed soul. People like that, you can never be too sure. Dijin artist, ugh. Anzen, what do you think? This is an actor, let's put Aizen's preferences aside for now. I just don't think he's bringing Kushina back just for collecting her. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, what do you mean? Dijin artist, no way, is he actually planning to make Kushina his subordinate? There's no way that would work, right? This is an actor, if you find the right method and weaknesses, shaking someone's resolve is actually pretty easy. Based on the timeline of the Naruto world, Uzumaki Naruto should still be in the stage where he's being discriminated against, right? Dijin artist, I get it. Aizen wants to use Uzumaki Naruto as a key point to guide Kushina. Amegakure Village's Angel, No wonder Aizen took Kushina's soul to seek the truth. Naruto was his real target all along. This is an actor, the dark side of the ninja world isn't as simple as what's shown in the manga. The amount of discrimination and abuse Naruto suffered can't be fully expressed with just a few images. As a mother who deeply loves her child, there's no way she could stay indifferent after seeing all that. Curly-haired guy, so that's how it is. This Aizen guy really can't be underestimated. This is an actor, and that's not all. Don't forget the essence of hollows is the result of human obsession, hatred, and twisted emotions. If Kushina sees her child treated like that by the village, and her negative emotions are amplified, do you really think she'll still believe in the will of fire? Silence. Everyone in the group chat fell into silence. It was as if they could already see a monster, personally created by Aizen, about to be born, a monster filled with hatred and rage toward Konohagakure. The most ironic part? That monster's name was Uzumaki Kushina, the wife of the fourth Hokage of Konohagakure. This is an actor. Good morning, everyone. Amegakure Village's angel, good morning, Anzan-san. Curly-haired guy, morning. Morning my ass. It's the middle of the night over here, damn it. Stop making me stay up late. I'm on the verge of a nervous breakdown, you bastards. Dijin artist, then just log off. Curly-haired guy, if I could do that, I would. But humans have this thing called curiosity. The moment I close my eyes, I feel like you guys are talking behind my back. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, don't worry, that won't happen. Dijin artist, yeah, if we wanted to talk behind your back, why would we bother hiding it? Are you overestimating yourself a little? Anyway, I gotta go, talk later. This is an actor. Eriri, is it afternoon on your side? It's funny how we're in the same group but have different perceptions of time. This difference isn't just about different time zones. Even the flow of time in each member's world varies. Aizen once secretly did some calculations. 2 days in the Naruto world roughly equal 2 hours in Eriri's world, half a day in the Gintama world, and 1 day in the Condor Hero's world. In other words, since the day Kushina was guided, more than half a month had passed in the Naruto world. But from Eriri's perspective, only a dozen hours had gone by. Since each world has a different time ratio, it should, in theory, cause serious confusion among the group members regarding time. No one should be able to define an exact timeline. But that's not the case, because the group has something called group time as an anchor. As long as members are online, their perception of time aligns with the group's time. In short, as long as everyone stays connected, they all experience time in the same way. It's unbelievable. Truly fascinating. This is a power that transcends dimensions and worlds. Curly-haired guy, fascinating, my ass. I'm seriously about to drop dead over here. Go to sleep. All of you, log off. If you all go offline, then I won't have to stay up all night, damn it. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, don't panic, I'm staying up too. Curly-haired guy, that's easy for you to say. You practice internal energy cultivation. But I'm just a regular human. I don't know any fancy meditation or energy restoring techniques. This is an actor. Jin, do you have some kind of misunderstanding about what a regular human is? You can cut through solid metal with a wooden sword. Normal people don't do that. That's called a monster. Dijin artist, and a silver-haired, curly-headed pervert monster at that. But speaking of internal energy cultivation, Mushu, you haven't gotten the 9 swords of Duga yet? A few days ago, Anzan had some free time and uploaded the Return of the Condor Heroes into the memory archive, so now everyone in the group had some basic knowledge of the martial arts world. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, I'm on my way to Xiangyang, should arrive in 2 days. Why, you interested? Dijin artist, yeah, I want to try what it feels like to be a martial arts master. Compared to all kinds of ninjutsu or Jin's swordsmanship, Eriri still felt that the light and graceful martial arts style suited her better, especially since she was a delicate little fairy. Of course, the main reason was that she didn't have enough points. Otherwise, she would have chosen everything. Curly-haired guy, what's the point of learning that in a law-abiding society? Are you planning to be a vigilante? Watch out, or you might get taken in for experiments, Professor Pomu Eriri. Dijin artist, none of your damn business. Who knows if my seemingly peaceful world actually has werewolves, terminators, or zombie viruses lurking in the shadows. Curly-haired guy, whoa, have you been watching too many Hollywood movies? Dijin artist, if Aizen can appear in the Naruto world, then anything's possible. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, always be prepared for danger. Eriri makes a good point. Dijin artist, besides, I just saw a news article saying they found a giant anaconda over 20 meters long in South America. That's clearly unnatural. Curly-haired guy, are you sure you're not just being paranoid? Amegakure Village's angel, A 20-meter-long anaconda? Isn't that pretty normal? This is an actor, by Naruto world standards, sure. But Eriri's world doesn't have supernatural abilities. The largest known anaconda species in South America is the green anaconda, with a verified world record of 12 meters. 20 meters would be a new world record. Based on Earth's oxygen levels and environment, it shouldn't be possible for a creature that big to exist. A Megakure village's angel, I see. Dijin artist, Anzan-san, you sound like an expert. This is an actor, Eriri, can you confirm if this news is real? Dijin artist, no idea, my phone just pushed it to me. This is an actor, then let's wait and see. If more similar news comes up, keep a record of it. News from phone notifications is usually just clickbait. But Aizen still decided to be cautious and asked Eriri to keep an eye on it. It never hurts to be careful. Dijin artist, got it. Since she trusted Anzan, Eriri didn't ask too many questions. She just did as she was told. Curly-haired guy, don't overthink it. Humanity is still in its infancy when it comes to exploring the world, so anything is possible. But more importantly, has Aizen been up to anything lately? A Megakure village's angel, no, he's just like a normal ninja teacher now. He spends his days reading and teaching his students. Sometimes, he takes Naruto out for a walk and gives him better meals. Curly-haired guy, building a bond, huh? Aizen, you sneaky guy. Are you trying to win over the son so you can get to the mom? I have to admit, that's a solid strategy. This is an actor. A Megakure village's angel. Notice, this group has been active for 30 days. A vote for the group leader will start in 60 seconds. So this is how the group leader is chosen? Aizen raised an eyebrow slightly, but there wasn't even a trace of surprise on his face. In fact, from the day he joined, he had already noticed a grayed out group leader option in the top right corner of the chat. That meant it was only a matter of time before a leader was selected. He had even speculated about the conditions for the leader's selection and his chances of becoming one. But now, it didn't really matter. Without any hesitation, Aizen cast his vote for Konan. The reasoning was simple. Konan was not only one of the original members, but she was also the one who resolved conflicts, comforted the group members, and provided guidance. Her contributions far exceeded anyone else's in the group. Aizen was sure the others thought the same way. Since that was the case, he might as well support her. After voting, Aizen closed the group chat and focused entirely on his lecture. Playing the role of Aizen wasn't just about causing trouble. Acting in ways that fit his personality and mindset, even in daily life, also contributed to improving his role-play skills. Though the progress was slow, it was steady. Besides, for now, all Aizen had to do was wait. Wait for the fully evolved Arrancar to awaken. Wait for the seeds he had planted to sprout. Once they broke through the soil, that would be the moment the ninja world trembled. As if he could already see the future unfolding, a faint smile appeared on Aizen's lips. Notice, congratulations! You have been elected as the group leader of the Dimensional Chat Group. Just then, the chat interface suddenly popped up in front of him, displaying a bold red notification. Hi! Even Aizen was a little surprised this time. He actually got elected? Why? Opening the chat, Aizen sent a single message. Curly-haired guy, whoa, our great leader has finally arrived. Everyone, bow down. Remember, proper warrior kneeling posture. If you mess it up, go commit seppuku. Dijin artist, seppuku my ass. We're not samurai. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Anzan, you look a bit confused. Do you not know what happened? This is an actor, yeah, I'm a little puzzled. Honestly, I thought Konan would be a better choice. Curly-haired guy, whoa, hold up. I can't just ignore that. Clearly, Gintoki should be the leader. I was born to lead. Dijin artist, so that's why you voted for yourself? Curly-haired guy, of course. No one understands leadership better than me. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, I'm curious. With your lazy personality, why do you even want to be the leader? Curly-haired guy, humph, do you even need to ask? It's so I can abuse my power without consequences. That's every man's ultimate dream. You think those middle-aged CEOs are fighting tooth and nail for their jobs because of passion? No, it's for the perks. Dijin artist, you're beyond saving. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, that's just straight-up scummy behavior. A Megakure village's angel, this is exactly why no one would ever vote for you, Gintoki. Curly-haired guy, TCH, whatever. Dijin artist, you were just calling it your ultimate dream, and now you're pretending not to care? Anyway, let's answer Anzan's question first. Actually, at first, both Mushu and I were going to vote for Konan, just like you. But she voted for you first and convinced us to do the same. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Konan said that, compared to her, you were more suited to be the leader. Because everyone in this group has received your help at some point. You've done more for the group than she has. This is an actor, I don't really think that's true. A Megakure village's angel, no need to argue. To me, it's a fact. This is an actor, well, whatever. Since I've already been chosen as the group leader, arguing about it won't change anything. Don't worry, I'll fulfill my duties properly. This is a promise, a guarantee. But this isn't coming from Aizen, it's coming from Aizen. There's a big difference between the two. Aizen may be playing the role of Aizen, but in the end, he's not actually Aizen. Aizen might manipulate and hurt his subordinates without hesitation for his own goals, only to casually say, admiration is the furthest emotion from understanding. But Aizen wouldn't do that. He actually cares about his group members. Curly-haired guy, whoa, are you giving a presidential inauguration speech or something? Yes, we can. Dijin artist, Obama's era is long over, you idiot. Curly-haired guy, shut up, what do you even know about Obama? Obama was the best president ever. If it weren't for him uniting Europe and starting the steam age, we wouldn't even have TVs to watch. Dijin artist, I don't even know where to begin correcting you. This is exactly what makes you different from Aizen. When he speaks, he sounds calm and reliable unlike you, who just spouts nonsense all the time. Curly-haired guy, huh? Calm and reliable? Don't be fooled by appearances, Eriri-chan. Every man has a beast lurking inside him. If you're not careful, you'll get eaten up bones and all. Dijin artist, ugh. You're the one who's gonna get eaten, you pervert. Sitting in the classroom, Eriri's face turned bright red like a boiling kettle. It was obvious she had understood the hidden meaning in Gintoki's words. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Eriri-chan? Is that a new nickname for Eriri? A Megakure Village's angel, it does sound kinda cute. Dijin artist, no, it's not. Call me by my actual name. This is an actor, got it, Eriri-chan. A Megakure Village's angel, understood, Eriri-chan. Dijin artist, ugh. You guys are at it again. You just love picking on me, don't you? Fine, whatever. Eriri gave up on resisting. She knew fighting back was pointless. Besides, the nickname Eriri-chan was actually kinda cute. A Megakure Village's angel, oh, it's time for me to go. See you later. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, is it because your Aizen is back? Curly-haired guy, husband? You were totally about to type husband, weren't you? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, sorry, but whenever I see Konan send a message like that, I can't help but picture the scene Eriri described before. Dijin artist, stop talking about it. I feel the same way, and it's really messing with my head. Is there any way to fix this? Curly-haired guy, the only way to fix it is to go straight to the source. So, oh mighty group leader. It's time to fulfill your duty and lead us in taking down that bastard Aizen. This is an actor, next time, for sure. Taking down Aizen? Yeah, that's not happening. You can't fight yourself. But considering how tense Konan always seemed around him, Aizen figured it wouldn't hurt to help her relax a little. A Megakure Village's angel, unbelievable. Aizen actually went to sleep. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, well, he's got a human body now, so sleeping isn't that surprising. A Megakure Village's angel, sleeping is normal, sure. But the timing isn't. Aizen's daily schedule is packed teaching, reading, practicing calligraphy, monitoring the ninja world, researching errand cars. He never sleeps before 2 a.m. Not only that, but he's always up before 6 a.m. to continue his research from the day before. Dijin artist, pfft. That guy's level of self-discipline is insane. But I guess that's exactly why he's so successful. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, true. He's on another level. I could never be that dedicated. Curly-haired guy, hey, what's going on with you guys? Have you all been hypnotized by Kyōka Suigetsu or something? Aizen is our enemy. Why are you all singing his praises? Dijin artist, well, according to Konan, we don't even know for sure if Aizen is really our enemy. And even if he is, we should still be honest about his abilities. Wait. Gintoki, are you jealous? Jealous that Aizen's better than you? Curly-haired guy, ha. What kind of nonsense are you spouting? Jealous? Me? No way. I'm the best, got it. I can even bake strawberry shortcake sweet, delicious strawberry shortcake. Dijin artist, that's just because you love to eat. That's the only reason you learned how to make it. A Megakure Village's angel, you know, it's funny, but Aizen can actually cook too. And he's really good at it. His food tastes amazing. Scarlet Lotus Fairy? Dijin artist, wait, seriously? Curly-haired guy, you've got to be kidding. That Aizen? Cooking? I've never heard of anything like that before. This is an actor, I told you stop thinking of him as just his anime version. This Aizen is a real, living person. He's not as one-dimensional as the show makes him seem. Meanwhile, Aizen wasn't actually asleep at all. He was just lurking in his room, secretly scrolling through the chat. Dijin artist, ahem, getting back on track. Based on what Konan said earlier, does this mean Aizen sleeping early is a sign that he's planning something big again? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, that's very possible. Curly-haired guy, you don't think Aizen is just pretending to be away while secretly spying on us, do you? Dijin artist, spying on what? Curly-haired guy, what else? Girls taking a bath, of course. Think about it, Kyōka Suigetsu's ability makes it easy for him to be right there, and you wouldn't even see him. That's like the ultimate Invisible Man cosplay. I bet he's read a bunch of those Invisible Man stories. This is an actor. To be honest, Aizen had never even considered such a thing. This Sakata Gintoki guy sure had a wild imagination. A Megakure Village's angel, no way, right? Konan didn't really believe it, but after seeing Jin's message, she couldn't help but feel uneasy. It was as if invisible eyes were watching her. Creepy. Maybe. I'll just skip bathing today. Dijin artist at curly-haired guy, don't assume everyone's as perverted as you, damn it. Curly-haired guy, who are you calling perverted? I'm just pointing out what any normal guy would think of. You, on the other hand, always defend Aizen. Be honest, do you have some kind of agenda? Dijin artist, bullshit. That's not normal at all. That's straight up creepy. Only a total freak like you would come up with the idea of using Kyōka Suigetsu to play Invisible Man. This is an actor, agreed. Aizen couldn't help but sigh. That was definitely something he'd never do. Curly-haired guy, TCH, then what do you think Aizen's real reason is? Dijin artist, he definitely has a reason, but it's not that. Maybe, he's secretly trying to contact someone else behind Konan's back? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Black Zetsu or Obito. According to Konan, he already knew them before. Dijin artist, maybe even the supposedly dead Uchiha Madara. After all, that place is the Pure Land. Who knows, Aizen might have secretly turned him into an errand car. A Megakure Village's angel, with Madara's pride, I don't think he'd ever agree to be Aizen's subordinate. Dijin artist, you never know. Think about Baragon, the number 2 errand car in the Soul Society world. That guy was literally the king of Hueco Mundo, super arrogant. But in the end, he still had to submit. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, if Uchiha Madara really became an errand car, he'd probably be number 1, right? This is an actor. Aizen just sat on the edge of his bed, watching these people wildly speculate. He had indeed met Uchiha Madara. Not only that, but Madara had actually invited him to join the Eye of the Moon plan and even assigned him as Obito's overseer. Of course, that was all part of Aizen's plan. Madara thought Aizen was a talented but easily manipulated kid. To be safe, he even tried to place a curse seal on Aizen's heart. Too bad he overestimated himself and underestimated Aizen. The curse didn't work, and instead, Madara himself fell under Kyōka Suigetsu's spell. But Aizen had never intended to turn Madara into an errand car. The reason was simple: Madara had the audacity to try to control him. That was unacceptable. Aizen had already decided Madara's fate long ago and wasn't about to change it. System message, skirt-flipping maniac has joined the chat. The moment the notification popped up, the group, which had been discussing Aizen and Madara, suddenly went silent. Then, the chat exploded. Dijin artist, a new member? Another one already? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, it's only been 5 days since the last one. That's pretty fast. A Megakure Village's angel, that username though. System message, the group has now exceeded 6 members. A special lucky red envelope event will begin in 10 minutes. Curly-haired guy, wait, a red envelope? This group has that kind of feature? I've never heard of it. Dijin artist, me neither. This is an actor, it's probably a hidden function that only activates under certain conditions. Looks like this group is more interesting than I thought. Curly-haired guy, what can you even get from the red envelope? Can I finally hit the jackpot and get rich overnight? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, no idea. There's no description. A Megakure Village's angel, we can talk about the red envelope later. Shouldn't we welcome the new guy first? Konan, being the big sister type, naturally cared more about the newcomer than some event. Even though, that username was kind of weird. Dijin artist, skirt-flipping maniac? Judging by the name alone, he's 100% a pervert. Seriously, looks like the creepy old man club is getting a new member. Curly-haired guy, what? Since when did we have a club like that? Who started it? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Jin, are you seriously asking that? Dijin artist, don't play dumb. There's a limit to how much you can pretend not to know. Curly-haired guy, what do you mean by that? Wait, don't tell me you've already labeled me as a member of some creepy old man club? That's slander. Absolute slander. Dijin artist, relax. You're not a member, you're the president of the club. Well, even though you're the only one in it. Curly-haired guy? Who the hell wants to be the president of some weird club like that? I'm a charming and dashing main character. Why am I being seen as some sleazy old guy? Are you all blind or what? Dijin artist, hey, newbie, introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Even if you really are a sleazy old man, you'll find a place here. Plus, you can report to your president in advance. Curly-haired guy, are you ignoring me? Ignoring the super handsome and charming me? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, I think I just hallucinated. Handsome and charming? Amegakuur Village's angel, sigh. Gintoki, at least keep your exaggerations somewhat believable. Curly-haired guy? Dijin artist, ha 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 ha. Skirt flipping maniac. Hi, everyone. Dijin artist, oh, there they are. The newbie has arrived. Amegakuur Village's angel, welcome to the family. Skirt flipping maniac thanks. Please take care of me. By the way, is this some kind of new technology from Academy City? Scarlet Lotus Fairy? Dijin artist, Academy City? What's that? Amegakuur Village's angel, no clue. Skirt flipping maniac It's not. This is an actor, newcomer, you should check out the group introduction first. It'll help you understand this place better. Skirt flipping maniac oh okay. Curly-haired guy, whoa, what's with that tone? Are you some creepy old man pretending to be a cute girl? That trick was already outdated 50 years ago. Dijin artist, 50 years ago, you weren't even born yet. This is an actor, don't jump to conclusions. Maybe they really are a cute girl. Curly-haired guy, pfft. Would a cute girl have a nickname like Skirt Flipping Maniac? If they turn out to be a cute girl, I'll live stream myself eating crap today. Gintoki was confident in his statement because he knew that the group nicknames were always tied to a person's job, personality, or past actions. They weren't just randomly assigned. So, if this newbie's nickname was Skirt Flipping Maniac, it meant they had definitely done something perverted before. What kind of cute girl goes around lifting people's skirts? That's obviously the kind of thing only a sleazy old guy would do. This is an actor, I see. Then, let's hear your introduction, Ruko. Dijin artist, Ruko? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, you know them, Anzen? Skirt Flipping Maniac wait, you know my name. A dessert shop in District 7. Satan Ruko stared at the floating screen in front of her, completely stunned. She had just finished reading the group introduction, and her head was still spinning. At first, she thought this was some new high-tech project from Academy City. After all, the virtual screen had a futuristic, sci-fi feel. But now, she understood that this group wasn't something technology could create. Connecting across dimensions, linking different worlds. This ability was practically divine. And despite being in separate worlds, the group leader somehow knew her name right away. Was he, a god? This is an actor, yes, I know. Now, please introduce yourself. Skirt Flipping Maniac oh okay, I got it. My name is Satan Ruko, I'm 13 years old, female, and a student. I currently attend Sakyugawa Middle School in Academy City. Is that good? This is an actor, thank you for cooperating, Ruko. Skirt Flipping Maniac and no problem. Satan Ruko felt like she was speaking to a god. The pressure was unreal. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, 13 years old? Amegakuur Village's angel, looks like we have a little sister in the group now. Dijin artist, she's really young. Even younger than me. She must have just started middle school. Skirt Flipping Maniac yes. Amegakuur Village's angel, Ruko-chan, you seem a little nervous? Don't worry, there are no bad people in our group. If you want to know more about us, you can check the memory list. Dijin artist, oh, and just a heads up. The top section of the memory list contains basic information about our world, while the bottom section includes additional details we've contributed, things like what we've done in our respective worlds and how far the story has progressed. Skirt Flipping Maniac got it. Seeing how friendly everyone seemed, Satan Ruko gradually relaxed. She followed the instructions and opened the memory list to catch up on the background. Dijin artist, now that the newbie welcome is over, shall we move on to the next part? Curly-haired guy, yes, yes, yes. The lucky draw. I've been looking forward to this. Ahaha. Dijin artist, changing the subject won't work, Jin-san. Come on, time to go live. Let everyone see how you plan to eat your words, at Curly-haired guy. Curly-haired guy, sorry, the number you dialed is no longer in service. Please recite the D&D revival spell after the beep. Notice, the lucky draw event will start in 10 seconds. Dijin artist, there's no way a group chat like this can go offline, idiot. And what kind of phone company requires a D&D revival spell to leave a message? Even someone with a hole in their brain wouldn't come up with that. Curly-haired guy, fantastic comeback. Looks like you've grown into a proper Tsukumai master, Eriri-chan. Dijin artist, shut up, I'm not playing the straight man here. Notice, the lucky draw event has begun. Please click the open button on your screen to claim your prize. Dijin Artist, opened the lucky draw and got 200 points. Skirt Flipping Maniac opened the lucky draw and got 1000 points. Dijin Artist? Eriri had been quite pleased with her 200 points, but the moment she saw Satan Ruko's score, she instantly felt a little bitter. And to make matters worse, Gintoki's mocking words made her blood boil. Ha ha ha, what a stark contrast. Hey, Eriri-chan, you wouldn't happen to have African ancestry, would you? Your dad's European, so how come you ended up with African luck? Dijin Artist, shut up. If I have African blood, then so do you. Your whole family does. Skirt Flipping Maniac guys, don't fight. If you need points, Eriri-chan, I can give you some. Curly-haired guy, pfft, ha ha ha. She's being offered charity. Eriri-chan is getting charity from a middle schooler. If I were you, I'd be at home crying into my pillow right now. Dijin Artist, shut up, you silver-haired pervert. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, opened the lucky draw and got a rare item Desert Eagle, unlimited ammo. Omegakure Village's angel, what's that? Konan had initially thought it was an actual eagle living in the desert, but when she saw the unlimited ammo part, she realized she had misunderstood. Dijin Artist, Desert Eagle. Is it the one I'm thinking of? Quick, show us. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, image I believe this kind of weapon is called a pistol. When they clicked on the image, a massive silver handgun appeared on the screen. It was resting in Limacho's pale hand, its metallic surface gleaming under the sunlight. Omegakure Village's angel, it's beautiful. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, I think so too. Limacho admired the Desert Eagle in her hand, clearly fascinated by it. She glanced at a wooden post in the distance and pulled the trigger. Bang! A burst of fire shot from the barrel, followed by a thunderous explosion. The wooden post now had a hole the size of a baby's fist right in the center. Phew! Limacho gently blew on the gun's barrel and, under Hong Lingbo's stunned gaze, tucked it into her bag. Curly-haired guy, whoa, you two need to chill. That's a gun. A weapon meant to kill people. What's with all this it's beautiful nonsense? That thing doesn't belong in ancient times at all. Skirt Flipping Maniac oh yeah, I remember now Macho's world is ancient martial arts, right? Using a gun in a wuxia setting, that's quite the contrast. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, it's fine, I'll get used to it soon enough. Curly-haired guy, what about the other martial artists? Did you ever think about how they'd feel? This is straight up cheating. Just hand it over, I'll keep it safe for you. Dijin Artist, oh, please. You just want it for yourself. This is an actor, interesting. So even things that break the rules of reality can be drawn in this event? Aizen found the breaking the rules part particularly intriguing, specifically, the unlimited ammo written next to the Desert Eagle. How could a handgun have infinite bullets? Clearly, it was tied to some deeper mechanics. Dijin Artist, wait a minute. Why does Macho's Desert Eagle have a listed rarity, but my points and Ruko's don't? Does my score not even deserve a ranking? Curly-haired guy, ha 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 ha. Maybe the points are just a consolation prize? Stop struggling, Ali. Your fate as an unlucky soul is already sealed. Tisk, and to think your dad is British. How did this happen? Dijin Artist, will you die if you don't mock me? I'm warning you, don't go too far, or you might end up being the clown yourself. Curly-haired guy, ha. Like that would ever happen. I, Jin-san, am the embodiment of pure luck. Omegakure Village's angel, opened a lucky draw and received an epic item Zanpakuto, higher in Meru. Dijin Artist, hiss. Konan is the real lucky one here. She actually got higher in Meru. Skirt Flipping Maniac whoa, congrats, Konan. Omegakure Village's angel, thanks. Konan looked at the icy blade that appeared before her, a small smile forming at the corners of her mouth. Even with her normally calm personality, she couldn't help but feel a little excited. Ever since she gained Shinigami powers from Aizen, she had a Zanpakuto as well. But that Zanpakuto was nothing more than a blade forcibly shaped using her own spiritual pressure, just like how Ichigo Kurosaki's first sword worked. It never had the true abilities of a real Zanpakuto. That wasn't surprising. After all, every real Zanpakuto was forged by Nimeya Uritsu of Squad Zero. Even Aizen didn't have the technology to properly forge one. Although Arankars also have Zanpakuto, theirs are simply used to seal away the power they already possess their core. Resurrection is just the process of unlocking that sealed power. This is completely different from how a Shinigami's Zanpakuto works. But thanks to this lucky draw, Konan had finally gained the complete powers of a Shinigami. This is an actor, you can replace your old sword with this one. Aizen was genuinely happy for her too. With higher in Meru, Konan would have no problem protecting herself. Omegakure Village's angel, yeah, I'll try not to let Aizen find out. This is an actor, he already knows. Omegakure Village's angel, ha ha ha, Anzen, are you trying to claim your Aizen again? Curly-haired guy, I can't hold back anymore. It's time. Oh, mighty gods of luck, grant me infinite fortune. From this day forward, I shall be known as Napoleon IV. Skirt flipping maniac. Was there ever a Napoleon IV? Dijin artist, of course not. This guy is just making stuff up. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, desperate times, huh? Curly-haired guy, humph. You don't believe me? Napoleon IV will rise today. Curly-haired guy, opened a lucky draw and received a legendary item, indestructible teddy bear underwear, women's. This is an actor, women's? A Megakure Village's angel, women's? Skirt flipping maniac. This. Dijin artist, ha 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 ha. What did I just say? What did I just say? The clown is actually you. Eriri burst into laughter, tears flying from her eyes. Curly-haired guy, no, something's not right. I must have opened it wrong. Stay calm, I'll try again. Gintoki's eyes went blank. In one hand, he held a delicate pair of white teddy bear underwear. With his other hand, he furiously tapped the screen in front of him. But clearly, it was pointless. Every time he tried to press the button, his fingers just passed right through the screen. No one knew how much time had passed. Eventually, Gintoki seemed to accept his fate. Slowly, he sat up, placed the tiny underwear on his head like a hat, and wrapped his arms around his knees. His entire being radiated pure despair. A Megakure Village's angel, Jin, just let it go. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, life always has its ups and downs. Dijin artist, exactly. Besides, even if it's a pair of women's teddy bear underwear, it's still legendary, right? You, Napoleon IV, deserve this title. Ha ha ha. What a great day. Eriri was feeling absolutely amazing. Even while walking to school, she couldn't stop grinning from ear to ear, completely ignoring any sense of grace or elegance. People passing by kept glancing at her, wondering if she had just won the lottery or if something was wrong with her. Normally, Eriri wouldn't act like this. She actually cared a lot about her image in public and only let loose when she was at home. But today was different. Just thinking about Gintoki's ridiculous prize made her unable to hold back. The overwhelming feeling of payback was just too satisfying, it was addictive. As they neared the school gate, Eriri finally stopped laughing. Because she saw someone she knew. It was a short-haired boy wearing black-framed glasses and carrying a black shoulder bag. At this moment, his eyes were fixed on her, as if he had just found his savior. This was her childhood friend, Aki Tomoya. Something wrong? Eriri watched as he walked toward her, frowning slightly. Yeah, I need to talk to you about something personal. Aki adjusted his glasses and asked, why didn't you come to the multimedia room last night? That's weird. Why should I have to listen to you? Eriri pouted, crossing her arms. Besides, I have zero interest in that game idea you mentioned. Go find someone else. No interest at all. Aki looked shocked, almost in disbelief. Why? Because it's boring, Eriri answered bluntly after a brief pause. And I've already decided to try something new. Something new? Was she quitting the scene? Aki was stunned, his face going blank. He had never expected his childhood friend to say something like that. Was this really the Eriri he knew? Come on, think about it again. Aki snapped out of his daze and tried to convince her, but he didn't realize that Eriri had already made up her mind. She wasn't planning to stay involved with him in any way, especially not in his game circle. Still, since they had known each other for so long, Eriri didn't completely shut him down. We all have our own paths to take. If we can't walk the same road to the end, then let's just wish each other well. No need to force things. With that, she didn't spare him another glance and walked past him. You seem different, a voice suddenly came from behind her. Do I? Eriri stopped for a moment and turned around. Standing there was a long-haired girl with straight black hair and a white headband. And what makes you say that, Kashoma Jayaka? The old you would never have turned him down, Kashoma Jayaka Yuta said confidently, arms crossed. Could it be, you've found someone new? Eriri smiled brightly. How can you have someone new when there was never someone old to begin with? Your question doesn't even make sense, Yuta. Oh. Yuta raised an eyebrow, suddenly feeling like the Eriri in front of her was very different from the one she used to know. The Eriri she remembered wasn't this sharp-tongued. And she definitely wasn't this mature. What exactly had changed to make her like this? As Yuta lowered her head in thought, Eriri suddenly spoke again. Just a friendly warning, don't waste your time on something that's already decided. What? Before Yuta could react, Eriri had already stepped into the school building. Taking her seat, Eriri opened the group chat again. Curly-haired guy, enough. I've had enough. My life, my future, there's nothing left worth looking forward to. Goodbye forever, you bastards. Image. The picture showed a window. Sunlight streamed through the glass, looking like a tunnel leading to another world. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Jin, don't do anything stupid. Skirt flipping maniac, yeah, calm down, Jin-san. Jumping from the second floor won't even kill you. Pfft. Eriri nearly spat out her soda when she saw that message. She quickly typed a reply, ha 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 ha. Ruko-chan, that was the perfect finishing blow. Well done. Curly-haired guy, you guys have no sympathy at all. Your beloved Jin-san is about to disappear from this world, and you're just sitting there cracking jokes? Shouldn't you at least try to comfort my fragile heart? This is an actor, that's because everyone knows you're way too shameless to die over something this small. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, shameless? This is an actor, it just means he wouldn't actually go through with it. Curly-haired guy, small. How is this a small thing, damn it? I'm facing a social death crisis here. To Jin artist, so what exactly happened? At first, Eriri thought Jin was just upset over losing a lottery draw. But now, it sounded like something much worse. Social death? What was that about? Amegakuer Village's angel, long story short, Jin was about to try on his prize when Kagura and Shinpeki walked in on him. To Jin artist, try on? Eriri took a sharp breath, her mouth twitching. Skirt flipping maniac, yep, try on. Jin-san asked in the chat earlier if it would fit, and I told him there was no way it would. He didn't believe me. Curly-haired guy, how was I supposed to know it'd be that small, damn it? As he sent the message, Gintoki was still desperately pulling at the edges of the bear print underwear, veins popping out on the back of his hands. But as expected, the underwear didn't budge at all. Clearly, the indestructible part was no exaggeration. To Jin artist, you're a freak. You're seriously a freak. I always knew you were weird, but I didn't think you'd go this far. Women's underwear? And not only did you wear it, but you got caught? You idiot, you're embarrassing our entire group. Curly-haired guy, what are you talking about, moron? This was my prize, shouldn't I put it to good use? Getting caught was just an accident. Put it to good use, my ass. Eriri had no idea how to even respond to this. Was this really something a normal person would do? This is an actor, if you really want to use it, you don't have to wear it. Since it's indestructible, why not use it as an enchantment item? Curly-haired guy, an enchantment item. Like, putting it on my head during battle? Aizen, you're a genius. Are you actually a genius? This is an actor? Aizen had actually thought about tying it to his sword, making the blade unbreakable. He never expected Gintoki to take things in such a unique direction. Yet, this was a man who could never be judged by normal logic. To Jin artist, you're actually serious about putting it on your head? Eriri was completely stunned. She couldn't begin to understand how Gintoki's mind worked. She was sure that wasn't what Aizen had meant. Curly-haired guy, ha! I just tested it, my head can smash through walls now. This is the best way to use it. Aizen, you really are a genius. This is an actor, whatever makes you happy. What else could Aizen even say at this point? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, can you really fight while wearing that? Limachu imagined the scene and immediately shivered. That was too much for her eyes to handle. To Jin artist, the enemy would die laughing, right? They'd definitely die laughing. Gintoki, why are you like this? Curly-haired guy, listen up, Eriri. In battle, it doesn't matter how you fight, only winning matters. Hesitation leads to defeat. Amegakuer Village's angel, no matter how you phrase it, it doesn't change the fact that this is just plain weird, Gintoki. Just as Konan sent that message, the entire chat screen suddenly turned dark gold. The window shook violently, and a bright red system message popped up for all members. This is an actor, opened a red envelope and received a mythical talent, God of Swords. To Jin artist? Curly-haired guy? Amegakuer Village's angel, mythical? Skirt flipping maniac, amazing. I don't even know what mythical means, but it sounds incredible. The whole group notification effect was just too flashy. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, so you can draw talents, not just items? Amegakuer Village's angel, as expected of Aizen, a mythical talent must be insanely strong. This is an actor, looks like I got lucky. Aizen's screen displayed the detailed description of the mythical talent. God of Swords, born with a sword bone, supreme mastery of the blade. Effect, increases sword technique learning speed by 500%. Boosts all sword techniques power by 500%. Significantly enhances the ability to see through enemy sword moves. A powerful ability, definitely worthy of the mythical title. Even so, Aizen remained calm. He casually copied the description and sent it to the group. To Jin artist, not bad? That's all you have to say? Just not bad. Curly-haired guy, not bad, my ass. This is a completely broken ability. Do you even realize how insane this is? If he had this kind of talent, he wouldn't need to wait for the right moment, he could just march straight into the path of heaven's headquarters and wipe them out. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, so from the description, this means both sword mastery speed and power increase 5-fold? A Megakuer Village's angel, and it also lets you see through enemy sword techniques. This is an actor, yeah, so I'd say it's decent. Aizen never lacked talent. Looking at the history of the Soul Society over millions of years, no one had ever been as gifted in cultivation as he was. Even in the ninja world, it had only taken him a few years to surpass cage-level strength. That's right. Even without his character card, without his Soul Reaper abilities, Aizen had already surpassed cage level on his own. And he hadn't even been training seriously. His current strength was just a side effect of his research on chakra energy. Such natural talent, it's terrifying. So when he said, not bad, it was just an honest opinion. But to the others in the group, his blunt honesty came off as showing off. Dijin artist, damn it. I got flexed on. Anzen-san totally flexed on me. It's blinding. Curly-haired guy, he did that on purpose. No doubt about it, you bastard. Acting all calm on the outside, but inside, I bet he's grinning ear to ear. Just admit it already, Jin-san, I see right through you. A Megakuer Village's angel, haha, so Anzen-san has this side to him too. Interesting. This is an actor, tch. Forget it, let them think whatever they want. Explaining would be exhausting and pointless. Curly-haired guy, what's with that tch? What kind of attitude is that? Are you looking down on me, you bastard? Dijin artist, if you don't mind me asking, is there anything about you that people should look up to? Your talent for cross-dressing, maybe? Or that little bear print underwear on your head? Skirt-flipping maniac, pft. Sorry, but ha 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 ha. In the dorm assigned by the school, Seiden Ruko couldn't hold back her laughter. Seiden-san. Wearing an apron and holding a spatula, Uyurukazuri ran out from the kitchen. Did something funny happen? Ah, it's nothing. Seiden Ruko shook her head, wiping away the tears from laughing. Just chatting with my friends, it's really fun. Chatting with friends? Uyurukazuri blinked and glanced around. There wasn't a single person in sight, and Seiden's phone was still charging on the desk. Where were these friends coming from? Wait. A chill ran down Uyuru's spine, and her eyes filled with horror. Seiden-san, please don't joke about stuff like that. Huh? Seiden Ruko was briefly stunned before realizing what was going on. Oh right, Uyuru couldn't see the chat group in front of her. Thinking quickly, she changed the subject. Haha. Uyuru-chan, you totally got scared. Sorry about that. Geez, Seiden-san, you're always pulling these pranks. Uyuru pouted, then suddenly changed the topic. By the way, I already agreed to Shirai's invitation. You better not pull any scares then. Shirai's invitation? Oh, you mean that level 5 thing? Seiden Ruko pursed her lips. I don't really want to go. As someone with no abilities, Seiden felt a bit insecure. The idea of meeting the so-called friendly and approachable level 5 Shirai Kuriko mentioned just didn't sit right with her. She didn't believe that someone that high up would really lower themselves to befriend them. Besides, chatting with her group friends was way more fun. But Uyurukazuri clearly didn't feel the same. She looked at Seiden Ruko with eager, expectant eyes. Seiden-san. Alright, I'll go, okay. Seiden Ruko sighed, waving her hand in surrender before turning back to the chat. Curly-haired guy, you guys are the worst. I'm not talking to you anymore. Konan, they're bullying me. Cute little Jin-san needs comfort. A Megakuer Village's angel, no time. Image. When they clicked on the image, it showed a misty landscape. Several low buildings were shrouded in a thin fog. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, where is this? A Megakuer Village's angel, I'm in Kirigakuer, getting ready to retrieve the 6 tails. Dijin artist, 6 tails? Oh, that big snot monster? Skirt-flipping maniac, its name is Saiken, right? It has water release and can spit out corrosive liquid? A Megakuer Village's angel, yep, Ruko-chan, you've got a good memory. Skirt-flipping maniac, hehe, I try. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, did Aizen send you to retrieve the 6 tails? A Megakuer Village's angel, yeah, Aizen wants the tailed beasts too. Dijin artist, I don't get it, what does he want them for? Is he planning to turn them into hollows? Can you even do that? A Megakuer Village's angel, according to Aizen, tailed beasts can be hollowified. But he doesn't seem to be planning on doing that. Since tailed beasts already contain a massive amount of twisted emotions, hollowifying them would make them completely uncontrollable. A mindless killing machine like that has no value. Skirt-flipping maniac, then, is he trying to become the 10 tails Jinchuriki? Dijin artist, that's not impossible. Curly-haired guy, tch, as if he isn't already strong enough. If he actually becomes the 10 tails Jinchuriki, what's the point of anyone else in this world even trying? This is an actor, Aizen wouldn't choose the 10 tails Jinchuriki path. Scarlet Lotus Fairy? Skirt-flipping maniac, why not? This is an actor, Aizen only believes in himself. He wouldn't put his trust in anyone else, not even the 10 tails. Dijin artist, but didn't he fuse with the Hogyaku in the end? That thing was created by Urahara Kisuke, wasn't it? This is an actor, the 10 tails and the Hogyaku are different. The Hogyaku is an object with a will of its own, but the 10 tails is a living creature. Aizen would never fuse with another living being's power, he would see it as putting his fate in someone else's hands. And to him, that would be the ultimate disgrace. Skirt flipping maniac, wow, Anzen-san's analysis is amazing. Omegakuer Village's angel, ah. Skirt flipping maniac, Konan, what's wrong? Curly-haired guy, that reaction. Did that snot slug do something weird to you? Dijin artist, your mind is so filthy, it's hopeless. It's a snot slug, not a tentacle monster. Curly-haired guy, het. I'll return those words to you exactly as they are. Omegakuer Village's angel, I'm fine. It's just that what Anzen-san said just now is almost exactly the same as what Aizen told me before. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, so that means Anzen really understands how Aizen thinks. Dijin artist, this is kind of freaking me out. He figured out Aizen's thoughts so clearly. I don't even know who's scarier, Anzen-san or Aizen. This is an actor, no need to be scared. I am Aizen. Skirt flipping maniac? Anzen-san is Aizen. The big bad guy was right beside me this whole time. Curly-haired guy, there it is again. One of those Anzen-style deadpan jokes, except this time, it's really not funny. Dijin artist, yeah. Aizen-sama, please have mercy. Omegakuer Village's angel, if Anzen-san really were Aizen, then I'd actually feel relieved. This is an actor, relieved? Aizen hadn't expected that response from Konan. Shouldn't it be fear, resentment, or anger instead? Omegakuer Village's angel, yes, relieved. Because I trust Anzen-san. Someone as kind and dependable as him would never hurt us. At that moment, Konan had no idea that the person she called kind and dependable was floating in midair, calmly watching her. And she was completely unaware. What an idiot. But at least she's an idiot that's nice to watch. Muttering softly, the brown-haired boy let a faint smile appear on his lips. It wasn't Aizen's smile, this one belonged to Anzen alone. Dijin artist, yeah, when people talk about Anzen-san, they think of kindness and reliability. But when they talk about Jin, it's skirt flipping maniac, bear print underwear? Curly-haired guy? Dijin artist, pft. Ha ha ha. Ruko-chan, you're a master at landing finishing blows. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, REI is absolutely right. Omegakuer Village's angel, target acquired. Moving in now. With that message sent, Konan was already standing in front of a small wooden house deep in the forest, her gaze calmly fixed on the short-haired young man in front of her. The young man wore a blue kimono and held a long flute in his hands. He watched Konan cautiously, his voice cold as he asked, "Who are you? If possible, could you hand over the 6 tails?" Konan ignored his hostility and spoke gently. "Don't worry, I won't take your life." Instead of using the chakra-draining Phantom Dragon 9 seal, Aizen had developed a safer and faster way to seal tailed beasts. But it required the Jinchuriki's cooperation, or at least for them to be unconscious. "So that's it. You're after the tailed beast." Utakata understood her intention, and chakra tails began to form around him. "I don't know how you found this place, but you're making a huge mistake." Sensing the overwhelming danger from her, he activated his tailed beast transformation right away. "If possible, I'd rather not use force." Konan sighed and lightly placed her right hand on the hilt of her sword. "But since negotiations have failed, I have no choice." Shing! The silver blade slowly slid out of its sheath. Konan held her sword in her right hand, leveling it in front of her. Her lips, painted with violet lipstick, parted slightly as she spoke softly. "Sit upon the frozen heavens. Hiren Meru." Boom! The once clear sky was suddenly covered by rolling clouds, and thunder rumbled across the land. She could change the weather? Still in the early stages of his transformation, Utakata stared up at the sky in disbelief. Just how powerful was this ability? Was this really something a ninja could do? Konan didn't intend to answer his doubts. Instead, she simply raised her blade and swung it through the air toward him. A terrifying cold burst outward in all directions, freezing the grass beneath her feet in an instant. This is... Utakata's eyes widened, reflecting the image of a massive ice dragon with its jaws wide open. "Dijin artist, I'm really worried. Is Konan okay?" Skirt flipping maniac, she should be, okay, right? Omegakuer Village's angel, I'm back. Using Hiren Meru's Shikai is still too much for me. My spiritual pressure almost couldn't keep up with the energy drain. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, so, the attempt to capture the tailed beast failed? Skirt flipping maniac, it's fine if it failed, as long as you're safe, Konan. Omegakuer Village's angel, no, it was a success. In front of Konan, Bubble was completely encased in an unbreakable layer of ice. A black cube hovered in the air, spinning wildly. On its surface, a large, 6, was etched. The tailed beast chakra inside Bubble was continuously being extracted, flowing endlessly into the cube. Curly-haired guy, wait, Shikai? You used Hirin Maru's power? Aren't you worried that Aizen will notice? Megakure Village's angel, don't worry. I've already confirmed that this area isn't under Aizen's surveillance. Plus, I checked through spiritual sensing beforehand, there are no other living beings nearby. This is an actor, I see. The message from Aizen was sent as he quietly observed Konan from above. His lips curled slightly into an almost imperceptible smile. A gentle breeze lifted his brown hair, causing the white fabric of his clothes to sway slightly. At that moment, Konan didn't even notice that a shark-faced young man had appeared beside him. Is this guy one of Aizen's subordinates too? The shark-faced young man wore a Kirigakure headband and carried a massive, bandage-wrapped sword on his back, with another long blade strapped to his waist. His grin revealed a row of sharp teeth. What terrifying power! Aizen didn't respond, not even glancing at him. You know what to do, Kisame. Of course. Hoshigaki Kisame smirked as he pulled down the high collar covering his lower face. What was truly unsettling was that his jaw and neck were covered in layers of white, bony material. Slash! Without hesitation, Hoshigaki Kisame drew the long blade from his waist and slashed it hard against his left shoulder. Blood gushed out, and his grin became even more menacing. The 6th squad of Kirigakure's assassination unit was attacked by Aizen Sōsuke from Konohagakure. 14 members, including the vice-captain, were completely wiped out, and the Six Tails Jinchuriki was taken. In reality, it was Konan who captured the Six Tails, and Kisame himself who slaughtered the entire Kirigakure assassination squad. Yet, at this moment, Kisame was pushing all of it onto Aizen. Aizen, however, seemed perfectly content with this version of events. His voice was calm as he said, "Ah, you've worked hard." Clearly, everything had gone exactly as he had planned. As a Konohagakure ninja, he not only killed numerous members of Kirigakure's assassination unit but also stole their strategic weapon, the Six Tails. So now, how would Kirigakure's higher UPS respond to Konohagakure? The answer was obvious. There's no need to be so formal, Aizen-sama, Kisame said with a wide grin, gazing into the distance. I'd love to see the future you envision. You will, Aizen said confidently, lifting his gaze to the sunlight. His expression radiated pure self-assurance and pride. As soon as he finished speaking, the group chat interface in front of him suddenly flickered. Dijin artist at this is an actor, Anzen-san. Anzen-san. Are you there? Megakure Village's angel, Eriri, isn't this a little inappropriate? If Anzen-san is busy with something important, wouldn't this just disturb him? Dijin artist, it should be fine, right? Anzen-san seems pretty relaxed every day. Besides, who else in the group could answer that question? Curly-haired guy, humph, as the group leader, getting disturbed is part of the job. It's his duty, his responsibility. If I were the group leader, I'd gladly let people bother me all the time. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, that tone. Sounds like you're jealous of Anzen, Jin. Dijin artist, makes sense. Talented people always get envied, especially by those who aren't as good as them. Curly-haired guy, pfft. What nonsense are you talking about, kid? What do you mean not as good? Let me tell you, at the very least, I have the guts to drop my pants in front of everyone without flinching. You think Anzen could do that? Megakure Village's angel. Skirt-flipping maniac, drop your pants. Satan Ruko's eyes widened, her face burning red. Dijin artist, fine, I'll admit it, when it comes to being shameless, no one can compete with you. This is an actor, be more confident. Take out the maybe. Skirt-flipping maniac Anzen-san is here. Dijin artist, whoa, looks like my summoning technique actually worked. This is an actor, I was just assigning tasks to my subordinates. Curly-haired guy, oh, that reminds me, you're actually in charge of a research facility, aren't you? Tisk tisk, I bet you've used your position to take advantage of your subordinates more than once. Disgusting. Dijin artist, hey. Stop assuming everyone is as messed up as you. Megakure Village's angel, having a boss as capable as Anzen-san must make things easy for his subordinates. This is an actor, sometimes, I can be quite strict too. After sending the message, Aizen glanced at Hoshigaki Kisame, who was covered in blood. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, being strict is also a form of training, but let's get back on topic. Dijin artist, yeah. We were talking about Aizen's goal. Anzen-san, why do you think Aizen is collecting tailed beasts? Konan said he never told her the reason. This is an actor, the 10 tails. Skirt-flipping maniac, hi? Dijin artist, that can't be right. Anzen-san, you clearly said before that Aizen wasn't interested in the power of the 10 tails. This is an actor, I only said that Aizen wouldn't become the 10 tails Jinchuriki. I never said he wasn't interested in its power. Amegakuer Village's angel, so, what you're saying is, this is an actor, just because he won't become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki doesn't mean he won't create the Ten Tails. If Aizen wants to overturn the ninja world, he has to start at the source. And where does a ninja's power come from? Chakra. But how is chakra created? Amegakuer Village's angel, the Ten Tails. The Divine Tree. Dijin artist, so Aizen plans to destroy the Divine Tree? Is that even possible? Curly-haired guy, if it's Aizen, he just might pull it off. That guy doesn't play by the usual rules. Skirt-flipping maniac, Jin-san, I think you're just like him. This is an actor, I also think it's possible. But I doubt he plans to destroy it. He wouldn't do something that boring. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, then how does he plan to overturn the ninja world without destroying the Divine Tree? This is an actor, think about it differently. If the Divine Tree, the source of chakra, were contaminated with spiritual energy instead, then what would ninjas be refining? Chakra or Reishi? Dijin artist, whoa. Eriri took a sharp breath, looking utterly shocked. Curly-haired guy, damn, that Aizen guy is seriously devious. Amegakuer Village's angel, so that's how it is. Konan looked at the black cube in her hand, a flash of understanding in her eyes. Skirt-flipping maniac, then what do we do? Should we stop him? Dijin artist, that's the problem, how do we stop him? The most terrifying thing about Aizen is that even if we figure out his plan, all we can do is watch. Curly-haired guy, what if we wait for him to get distracted and launch a sneak attack? Maybe we'd have a chance? Amegakuer Village's angel, no, there's no need to stop him. Dijin artist? Skirt-flipping maniac, hi? Amegakuer Village's angel, my goal is peace for the ninja world. As long as peace is achieved, it doesn't matter if ninjas cease to exist. Right, Anzen-san? This is an actor, yes, that's right. Dijin artist, but if there are no ninjas, can it still be called the ninja world? Amegakuer Village's angel, doesn't matter. We can just rename it the spirit world. Or even the soul society. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, Konan, you're really open-minded about this. The soul society, hi. Curly-haired guy, copyright infringement warning from Bleach. Skirt-flipping maniac, still, Anzen-san really is amazing. He figured out Aizen's plan so easily. Curly-haired guy, tch, in the end, it's just his own analysis and guesswork. Who knows if it's actually true? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, even if it's just a theory, doesn't it make a lot of sense? Why do I get the feeling Jin is picking a fight with Anzen? Dijin artist, just ignore him, Mushu. He's obviously jealous. If he's so capable, he should come up with his own analysis. Curly-haired guy, humph. Jin-san isn't some manipulative schemer. Dijin artist, you, the guy with panties on his head, actually have the nerve to call someone else a pervert. Amegakuer Village's angel, Anzen-san isn't just playing mind games. He's the real Aizen, isn't he? This is an actor, oh? You noticed, Konan-senpai? I thought you would have figured it out sooner. Skirt-flipping maniac? Seidenruko looked completely lost. What was going on? Was Anzen really Aizen? Curly-haired guy, hey, are you two putting on a stage play or something? If you've got skills, why don't you pull a rabbit out of a hat for me? Dijin artist, that's magic, you idiot. But still, Konan and Anzen's performance does feel pretty convincing. Amegakuer Village's angel, sorry if we scared you, Ruko-chan. But Anzen sure gets into character fast. The way he talks and acts, it really does feel like Aizen. This is an actor, that's because I am Aizen. Amegakuer Village's angel, sure, I believe you. Konan, who had just sent the message, smiled slightly and reached out, tapping the air in front of her. Buzz. A black void suddenly opened before her, like a giant mouth waiting to devour everything. After steadying herself, Konan stepped into the darkness. Welcome back, Konan-senpai. The moment she stepped out of the dark portal, Konan saw Aizen already waiting for her. He sat in a high-backed chair to her right, a cup of tea on the table in front of him. His eyes, behind his glasses, were calm and composed. It seems your mission went smoothly. Konan kept a blank expression, silently pulling a black cube from her sleeve and placing it on the table. It was the sealed six tails. I've completed the task you gave me. Now I need to return to the Akatsuki base. Even if you didn't say it, I would have let you go back. Aizen nodded slightly, speaking in a soft tone. What are you planning? Konan's expression shifted as she tried to stay calm. Aizen smirked slightly and said casually, please inform Leader Pain that I'd like him to come to Konohagakure in 2 months to retrieve the 9 tails. Retrieve the 9 tails? Konan's pupils shrank, and her body tensed. She knew full well that Aizen would never just let Akatsuki take the 9 tails right under his nose. So why was he telling her to pass this message to Pain? Could it be, his real goal was to create conflict between Konohagakure and Akatsuki? Konan felt like she had figured it out, but she kept a straight face. With Konohagakure's current defenses, even if the entire Akatsuki attacked together, they wouldn't be able to break through head-on. That was the truth. Neither Akatsuki's overall strength nor Nagato's mastery of the Rinnegan had reached the level described in the legend of Hokage Hayate. If they tried to brute force their way into Konohagakure now, it would be nothing but suicide. Yes, that's true. Aizen's smirk deepened as the reflection from his glasses hit his brown eyes. The bloodline clans, the many elite jonin of Konohagakure. If they all banded together, their power would be overwhelming. Even Akatsuki would have no choice but to back off. Then why? Before Konan could finish, Aizen interrupted, but what if, by that time, Konohagakure was already caught in a war? With Leader Pain's strength, he should have no problem crushing a weakened and exhausted Konohagakure, don't you think? Konohagakure, in a war? Konan froze, disbelief written all over her face. But she didn't ask any more questions. After a brief silence, she stepped back into the black portal, deep in thought. The moment she left the realm, she hurriedly opened the group chat to ask for help. Dijin artist, he's asking Akatsuki to come to Konohagakure for the Nine Tails? What the hell is Aizen up to this time? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, I remember Konan mentioning that he's been in contact with Naruto pretty often. If he really wanted the Nine Tails, he could have taken it himself with no problem. Amegakure Village's angel, exactly. That's why this feels so suspicious. Curly-haired guy, don't tell me Aizen is luring Nagato over just to take him out? Amegakure Village's angel, no way, right. If there was one person in the Naruto world that Konan deeply cared about, it was definitely her friend Nagato. Skirt-flipping maniac, I don't think that's very likely. What reason would he have to go after Nagato? For the Rinnegan? Aizen didn't even care about the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, so I doubt he'd be interested in the Rinnegan. Curly-haired guy, the Rinnegan? You think that's his goal? You're too naive, Ruko-chan. It's still too early for you to understand what's really going on here. Skirt-flipping maniac? Dijin artist, what do you mean too early? Curly-haired guy, Aizen isn't targeting Nagato just for the Rinnegan. His real goal is Konan. If he gets rid of Nagato, his damn rival in love, he can have Konan all to himself. Skirt-flipping maniac pft. Amegakure Village's angel? This is an actor? Aizen's eyebrow twitched slightly. Humph, there's no point in getting mad at an idiot. Taking Gintoki seriously is a losing battle. Dijin artist, here we go again. You seriously need to get your brain checked, Gintoki. Curly-haired guy, a little brat like you wouldn't get it. I'm talking about real male instincts here, male instincts. Every man has a strong sense of possession deep down. Dijin artist, no, I think that's just the instinct of a pervert. Curly-haired guy, huh? Then tell me, what other explanation do you have? Dijin artist, Anzen-san. Hurry up and shut him down. Amegakure Village's angel, thinking about it, I still feel like the root of the problem is in Konohagakure. Since Aizen said the village would be caught in war, it means he's probably been working behind the scenes to make that happen. And now that the Akatsuki is involved, what will Konohagakure become? Skirt-flipping maniac, so, the whole village will turn into whatever Aizen wants? Dijin artist, pft. Turning Konohagakure into his ideal shape? That's not quite it. Seeing the messages in the chat, Aizen shook his head slightly. What he wanted wasn't to reshape the village, it was simply to make a declaration. He would use Konohagakure as a stage to announce the existence of a god to the world. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, so, what is Konan planning to do? Is she going to follow Aizen's plan? Curly-haired guy, well, even if she doesn't want to, she doesn't really have a choice. The consequences of going against Aizen could be even worse, who knows what he'd do to her. Dijin artist, TCH. Stop assuming everyone thinks as filthy as you do. Skirt-flipping maniac, but Gintoki does have a point. Aizen has his eyes on the entire ninja world. There's nowhere to hide from him. Amegakure Village's angel, I've already told Nagato, and he agreed. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, sigh, it feels like we're just being led around by the nose. Dijin artist, yeah, we have to admit that Aizen's control is terrifying. He plans everything out beforehand, and no matter what, people always end up playing along whether they want to or not. He always finds a way to make them comply. Curly-haired guy, TCH, this sense of powerlessness. Dijin artist, hey, why not just have Konan bring Nagato into the fold? I don't think Aizen would refuse if the leader of the Akatsuki wanted to join him. Skirt-flipping maniac, so, if you can't beat them, join them? Amegakure Village's angel, well. To be honest, Konan was a little tempted by the idea. If Nagato joined Aizen, it might ensure that Aizen wouldn't see him as an obstacle and eliminate him. But there was a big problem: Nagato's own will. A man who called himself a god would never willingly serve someone else. This is an actor, it's not the right time to bring Nagato in yet. Dijin artist, why? This is an actor, Aizen let Konan get close because he's curious about her. But Nagato is different. Aizen has been watching him for a long time and already knows him inside out. If Nagato suddenly offers to join, Aizen will definitely be suspicious. Besides, do you really think Nagato would ever accept being someone else's subordinate? A Megakure village's angel, then when do you think the right time will be, Anzen-san? Konan had already started seeing Anzen as her strategist, just like those master tacticians in manga and novels. This is an actor, after Aizen's plan in Konohagakure is complete, the timing should be right. By then, Aizen will probably shock the entire ninja world. Dijin artist, so you're saying Aizen will step out of the shadows after this event? For real? This is an actor, that's just who he is. Aizen was never meant to stay in the background forever. As long as the opportunity is right, he will step into the spotlight in a grand fashion just like he did in Soul Society. A Megakure village's angel, a stage? So this whole thing happening in Konohagakure is just a stage Aizen deliberately set up? This is an actor, it's not just a possibility, it's a certainty. Curly-haired guy, aren't you a little too confident? At the end of the day, this is all just speculation. Where's your proof? Show me the proof. This is an actor, no proof is needed, because I am Aizen. Skirt-flipping maniac. Anzen-san is joking again. Dijin artist, that's such an Aizen thing to say. But even if it's just speculation, it's logical and convincing. Unlike a certain troublemaker who does nothing but cause chaos. Curly-haired guy, who the hell are you calling a troublemaker, hi? Dijin artist, hi? That's weird. I didn't even mention your name, so why are you jumping in? Don't tell me Jin-san actually has some self-awareness? Curly-haired guy, alright, you little brat. I'll remember this. Don't let me catch you slipping. Dijin artist, oh no, I'm so scared. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, were you two enemies in a past life or something? Can't go a day without arguing? Skirt-flipping maniac, am I the only one who thinks Anzen is getting too into character? Isn't this kind of dangerous? I heard that if you keep imagining yourself as someone else too much, you might end up with a split personality. A Megakure village's angel, that serious? Maybe Anzen should be a little more careful. This is an actor, thanks for the warning. As expected, no one believed it. But Aizen had already anticipated this. He simply gazed at the sunset in the distance with a calm expression. The golden glow of the setting sun covered the village like a thin veil of light. Aizen sighed softly. What a beautiful sight. Unfortunately, he probably wouldn't be seeing this view again for a long time. And the one responsible for destroying it, was himself. Sosuke-kun. Sosuke-kun. A voice calling his name snapped him out of his thoughts. Turning around, he saw two strikingly different yet equally beautiful young women. One was gentle and elegant, with a quiet demeanor. The other was wild and carefree, radiating energy. Mitarashi-san and Yui-san, Aizen's smooth voice carried a slight warmth. Are you two out shopping? He had noticed the bags in their hands. How many times do I have to tell you? Stop using formal speech with me. Mitarashi Anko, dressed in a long coat with her signature ponytail, rolled her eyes in frustration. And not just with me, why are you so polite to Kurane too? Are you dense or something? Anko, that's rude. Kurane blushed and quickly pulled at her friend's sleeve. Sorry, Sosuke-kun. You know how Anko is. But, she's right, you don't have to be so formal with us. I see, my mistake. Aizen admitted sincerely before adding, to make up for it, let me treat you both to some dango. I want some too. Anko and Kurane had just opened their mouths to accept the offer when a cheerful voice cut in from the side. Aizen, I want dango too. A black-haired boy carrying a small sword on his back jogged over with a grin. Uchiha Shisui. This is Sosuke's treat. Why are you butting in? Anko scowled at the newcomer. This was a perfect chance to get her best friend and Aizen together. Why was this third wheel ruining it? Aizen is my close friend. Why shouldn't I be here? Shisui replied confidently, even throwing an arm around Aizen's shoulder as if to stake his claim. You little. Anko's temper flared instantly. She clenched her fist and held it up threateningly. You looking for a fight? Oh? Bring it on. Shisui smirked, refusing to back down. Alright, that's enough, Shisui. Aizen sighed, clearly exasperated. Just as he was about to continue speaking. Ding! 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 A sharp alarm suddenly rang throughout Konohagakure. Shisui's face changed immediately. That's a high-level emergency summon for Jonin. Is something big happening again? Kurane's expression turned serious. The last time they had heard this alarm was 5 years ago, during Tsunagakure's invasion. Could another village be attacking? Sorry, Kurane. Aizen sighed, looking genuinely apologetic. Looks like our dango plans will have to wait. It's okay, Sosuke-kun. Kurane smiled softly, clearly pleased that he had dropped the formality. There will always be another time. Exactly. Anko waggled her eyebrows playfully. We've got plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time. No one noticed that when Aizen repeated those words, his tone carried a strange hint of something unspoken. As he turned and walked away, his figure slowly disappeared into the distance. Kurane suddenly furrowed her brows. For some reason, she felt an uneasy sense of foreboding. What? Kirigakure launched a surprise attack on the Land of Fire's border outpost, starting a war with Konohagakure without warning. The entire Konoha meeting hall erupted into chaos. The Jonin present wore expressions of shock, disbelief, and utter confusion. If the Hokage himself hadn't delivered this information, hardly anyone would have believed it. Setting aside the fact that the major villages had only signed a peace treaty a few years ago, there was also Kirigakure's location to consider. Why would they suddenly attack Konoha? What were they after? Doubt. Confusion. But after all, everyone here was a seasoned Jonin, so they quickly regained their composure. Following the Hokage's orders, the selected Jonin returned home to pack their belongings, getting ready to head to the front lines. Aizen and Shisui were among those chosen. It made sense after all, the twin stars of Konoha had made a name for themselves on the Kirigakure battlefield. They had the skills and experience to handle Kirigakure's ninjas. But this time, Aizen didn't seem as calm as he had been on his last trip to the front lines. His brows were furrowed, and he looked a little anxious. Shisui, with his sharp senses, even caught him muttering to himself. So you're really going through with this? What did that mean? Shisui froze for a moment, looking surprised. But he didn't ask anything in front of everyone. Instead, after the meeting ended, he silently followed Aizen out of the hall. The two of them, lost in thought, walked down the main street of Konoha. It wasn't until they reached a side alley that Shisui grabbed Aizen and pulled him aside. Aizen, do you know something? Is this Kirigakure invasion, planned by someone? So you did notice. Aizen paused for a moment, his eyes behind his glasses showing a complicated look. Forgive me, Shisui. I never wanted to drag you into this. What the hell are you saying? Shisui grabbed his shoulders, eyes blazing with anger. Aren't we best friends? If we are, then we should face things together. Yes, and it's exactly because we are friends. Aizen took a step back and said softly, that's why I don't want you to get involved. I'll carry this burden alone. Shisui stared at him, as if he could see an indescribable sorrow hidden in Aizen's eyes. Aizen, you. Swish. Before he could finish speaking, two figures wearing animal masks suddenly appeared in front of them. You're from Root. Shisui immediately recognized them, his face darkening. What do you want? The shorter of the two ninjas glanced at him before turning to Aizen. Aizen Sosuke, Danzo-sama has ordered you to return immediately. Return? A bad feeling hit Shisui all at once. His expression changed drastically. But Aizen didn't seem surprised. He simply nodded. I understand. As he turned away, his lips moved slightly, forming a silent message to Shisui. Shisui's pupils shrank. He had been about to stop Aizen, but his body suddenly froze in place. The two Root ninjas didn't seem to notice their silent exchange. They took Aizen with them and left. Shisui watched their backs disappear, his expression shifting several times. In the end, he clenched his teeth and turned in the opposite direction. A black void suddenly opened, and Aizen, along with the two Root ninjas, stepped out. Welcome back. Good work. Aizen sat down in a chair with a relaxed voice. At that moment, the two masked figures removed their disguises, revealing themselves as Konan and Uchiha Itachi. The three of them turned their eyes to a fourth screen on the left. The monitor displayed an image of Shisui, who had quietly returned home. Resting his cheek on one hand, Aizen also looked at the screen, a small smile playing on his lips. The choice is in your hands now. What will you do, Shisui? Konan recorded everything and sent it back to the group chat. Curly-haired guy, I can already see the tragedy unfolding. This is brutal. I need a strawberry sundae to recover. Djinn artist, using Shisui's trust and loyalty while setting up both him and Danzo. Aizen is seriously ruthless. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, it's not just trust and loyalty. He also played on Shisui's curiosity and sharp instincts. Aizen factored everything in. Skirt-flipping maniac, this is terrifying. I feel like I just got a first-hand experience of Aizen's danger. He makes people walk right into his plans without even realizing it. Djinn artist, there. Come here for a hug, Ruko-chan. Skirt-flipping maniac, MHM. Hug. Curly-haired guy, humph. My chest is broad too, you know. I'll allow you to hug me as well. But don't get too full of yourselves, you little brats. Djinn artist, get lost, you creepy old man. Skirt-flipping maniac, dude, you've got a pair of underwear on your head. And it's got little teddy bears on it. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, pft. Amegakuer Village's angel, Jin, stop harassing the kids. Curly-haired guy, what the? For crying out loud, all he wanted was a friendly hug. How did things end up like this? Was he really that much of a creep in the group chat? Sakata Gintoki, with a pair of teddy bear panties on his head, fell into deep thought. This is an actor, am I the only one who finds his acting terrifying too? Aizen wasn't bragging, he was giving them a hint. Didn't they realize there was another actor in the group? Dijin artist, forget the acting. I'm more curious about what Aizen meant by choice. And what's that secret code he and Shisui were using? Eriri's message completely changed the subject. Aizen's hint was like winking at a blind man. If he weren't so composed, he might have already cursed them out. Amegakuer Village's angel, I'm not sure about the choice, but the secret code is probably a clue. Curly-haired guy, TCH Aizen is always saying weird, confusing things. It's so frustrating. Dijin artist, then go beat him up. I dare you. Curly-haired guy, ha. What kind of nonsense is that? There's nothing in this world Gintoki wouldn't dare to do. Dijin artist, eat goop. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, become a eunuch. This is an actor, date a cactus. Curly-haired guy? Are you guys actual demons? This is an actor, not a demon. I am a soul reaper. Curly-haired guy, oh no, here we go again. These lame cold jokes aren't funny at all. And honestly, you're even worse than Aizen in some ways. At least Aizen wouldn't come up with something as messed up as date a cactus, right? This is an actor, you never know. Curly-haired guy, hey. Don't go acting like you're really Aizen, you bastard. Aizen at least has some morals. I think. He should have some, right? Dijin artist, who are you even asking? You're the one who said it, and now you're doubting yourself? Are you okay in the head? Curly-haired guy, I don't know anymore. I have no idea what kind of person Aizen really is. A perverted housewife lover? A sadistic torturer? Damn it, my brain is breaking. Skirt-flipping maniac, aren't both of those just different flavors of messed up? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, pretty much. Limacha was catching on fast. She didn't even need an explanation to understand what Gintoki meant. Dijin artist, instead of your brain is breaking, maybe it's more accurate to say you've never had a normal thought in your life. You silver-haired, naturally curly freak. Curly-haired guy, excuse me. I'll have you know I've been voted Kabukiko's outstanding citizen 5 years in a row. Show some respect, damn it. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, isn't Kabukiko basically a red light district? Getting that award there, doesn't really prove anything, does it? Dijin artist, if anything, it just means his mind is even more messed up than we thought. It might already be rotten. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, yeah. Rotten. Skirt-flipping maniac, well, time to bury him on the spot. Curly-haired guy, you damn women. Gintoki gritted his teeth in frustration. But he had no comeback. It was pure suffering. Amegakuer Village's angel, I have to head out for a bit. You guys keep talking. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, where to? Dijin artist, is Aizen making a move again? Amegakuer Village's angel, yeah. This time, the target is Kumagakuer Village. At that moment, in Kumagakuer Village, the fourth Raikage, was leaning back in his chair, reading a letter under the dim light of his office. As he read, his expression turned into one of pure disdain. Humph! What nonsense! Boom! His right hand, still holding the letter, slammed onto the desk. The wooden surface groaned under the force, letting out a deep, heavy sound. Finishing the letter had put him in a foul mood. He felt like someone was messing with him. And honestly, he had every reason to think so. According to the letter, some Konohagakure ninja named Aizen Sōsuke planned to sneak into Kumagakuer tonight and steal the 2 tails and the 8 tails? What kind of joke was that? Aizen Sōsuke? Yeah, I knew him. Half a year ago, at a diplomatic meeting between Kumagakuer and Konohagakure, he had met the boy. Brown hair, glasses, a bright, friendly smile. During the event, the kid had even demonstrated his genjutsu skills. His talent was impressive, sure. But that was all it was talent. Turning talent into real strength took years of training, discipline, and battle experience. That kid was, what, barely 13? How strong could he even be? A brat like that, trying to rob Kumagakuer of its tailed beasts? Unless the higher UPS in Konohagakure had lost their minds, there was no way they'd approve something this insane. So was this letter just a bad prank? Or an attempt to stir up conflict? And more importantly, the fact that it had been placed directly on his desk, without anyone noticing, meant someone had done it on purpose. Whoever pulled that off was no ordinary person. Thoughts raced through his mind as A locked his eyes on the signature at the bottom of the letter. The Akatsuki? What kind of group was this? What were they trying to achieve by stirring up conflict between Kumigakure and Konohagakure? One question after another swirled in A's mind, leaving the fourth Raikage restless. He had a bad feeling something big was about to happen. Boom! A deafening explosion suddenly shook the air. A's expression changed as he quickly turned to look out the window. A blinding white light shot up from the southwestern part of the village. That's B. A recognized the location immediately. It was his brother Killer B's home. Crash! With a sharp crack, A smashed the glass in front of him with a single punch. In the blink of an eye, his figure turned into a streak of blue lightning and disappeared. Swish! In mere moments, A arrived near Killer B's home. Because B was the Eight Tails Jinchuriki, he rarely interacted with the villagers. His home was tucked away deep in the forest, far from the crowd. But now, the once lush green forest had been reduced to a barren wasteland. Killer B's house had been completely destroyed, leaving behind only scattered blackened debris. The smell of burning filled A's nose. What happened here? A's sharp eyes scanned the area. Where was B? Had he been fighting someone? Then, A's gaze locked onto something, his face showing utter disbelief. A brown-haired boy with black-framed glasses stood in his line of sight. Beside him was a woman with short purple hair, her expression cold and unreadable. Ah, Raikage-sama. The boy spoke with a warm smile, his tone just as calm as the first time A had met him. It's been over half a year. I'm glad to see you're still in good spirits. Aizen Sōsuke. A froze, unable to believe what he was seeing. Why was this Konohagakure ninja here, near B's home? Could it be true? Was he really here to steal Kumigakure's tailed beast, just like the Akatsuki's letter had warned? No. Impossible. A refused to believe it. His brother, Killer B, was a perfect Jinchuriki. He could fully transform into the Eight Tails without losing control. There was no way some kid could defeat him. More importantly, neither of them had a single scratch on them. Their clothes weren't even wrinkled. They looked like they had just taken a casual stroll. There were no signs of a battle at all. Then what caused the explosion? Where was B? As that thought crossed his mind, A's pupils shrank. He finally spotted his brother lying completely still at Aizen and the woman's feet, covered in blood, barely breathing. Chapter 30-30, Don't Panic. Sizzle. A flash of blue lightning shot between Aizen and Konan as A reached out and carefully lifted his brother into his arms. B. But B didn't respond. His breathing was faint, and he was completely unconscious. Ah, my apologies, Raikage-sama. I didn't expect you to find out so soon. Aizen's lips curled into a slight smile as he spoke words that made the fourth Raikage's blood boil. If I had known, I would have just turned him into mincemeat. Aizen Sōsuke. A gently laid his brother down and slowly stood up. His dark face was twisted with fury as he spoke coldly, I'm going to kill you. Rage, pure, uncontrollable rage filled his chest. He no longer cared how this kid had managed to hurt B. He didn't need to think about it. There was only one thought in his mind now: he would tear Aizen apart. Crackle. Lightning flickered around A's body as he entered lightning-release chakram mode. Blue electric arcs wrapped around him, making him look like a thunder god descending from the heavens. But Aizen didn't seem fazed at all. Instead, he smirked slightly and said, Oh? You're just putting on a show now. If you keep acting tough, you'll only make yourself look weaker. Die. The fourth Raikage's eyes widened with fury. He raised his right hand, forming a blade with his fingers. His entire body turned into a streak of blue lightning as he charged straight at Aizen. Lightning plow hot knife. Squelch. A's lightning-cloaked hand pierced straight through Aizen's chest without any resistance. Aizen didn't even seem to have time to react. But, instead of falling, he smiled. A moment later, his body dissolved into dust and vanished before A's eyes. What? A seemed to sense that something was wrong, but before his body could react, a flash of a blade suddenly appeared behind him. Splat! Bright red blood sprayed out as A slowly collapsed to the ground. His dark face was still frozen in shock and disbelief. Clang! Aizen, who had appeared behind him at some unknown moment, had already sheathed his sword. With a calm expression, he walked past the fallen Raikage. Let's go, Konan-senpai. That empty shell is no longer worth recovering for Konohagakure. Konan gave a slight nod, took a picture of the unconscious fourth Raikage, and then turned to follow Aizen. Only after they had completely disappeared did A's fingers suddenly twitch. Back at their base, Konan opened the group chat and filled in the missing details. The chat immediately exploded with discussion. Skirt-flipping maniac, the fourth Raikage isn't dead, right? Amegakure Village's angel, of course not. Aizen deliberately spared him. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, what a brilliant move. Aizen is truly a master schemer. Not only did he take the tailed beast, but he also framed Konohagakure at the same time. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. Even someone as ruthless as Lee Macho had to admit that Aizen's strategy was incredibly deep. Skirt flipping maniac, that's just too cunning. A Megakure village's angel, and that's not all. Even the Akatsuki has been dragged into this. The letter in Reikage's hand? Aizen sent it in the name of the Akatsuki. And there's a second letter, which I have right now. Aizen wants me to deliver it to Reikage tomorrow morning. This is an actor, let me guess the letter invites Reikage to join forces with the Akatsuki in attacking Konohagakure? A Megakure village's angel, yep. Dijin artist, whoa. That connects everything. The Akatsuki really will take action now. With all these forces gathering in Konohagakure, that village is in serious danger. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, one step leads to another, all perfectly linked. Aizen Sōsuke is truly a terrifying man. A Megakure village's angel, yet. As the person in the group closest to Aizen, Konan truly felt this from the bottom of her heart. The more time she spent with him, the more she understood his abilities and ambitions. And the more she understood, the more terrifying he seemed. Dijin artist, but considering the current situation, isn't it actually better that Aizen is so powerful? Didn't Konan already decide to side with him? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, that's true. Curly-haired guy, yeah, but you still can't trust Aizen completely. Just think about what happened to the Aaron cars. This is an actor, that's right. Learning to protect yourself is important. A Megakure village's angel, thanks for your concern, Anzen-san. I understand. Curly-haired guy, wait, why? Why are you only thanking Anzen? Are you ignoring me? Or is it that in your eyes, only Anzen exists? A Megakure village's angel, you already know the answer. Curly-haired guy, yeah, I know. Wait, no, I don't. I don't get it at all. Explain it to me properly. Dijin artist, do you really need an explanation? It's obviously both. Konan ignored you and only sees Anzen. Those aren't contradictory. Curly-haired guy, no way, I don't believe it. Skirt-flipping maniac, but that's just the truth. Curly-haired guy, I refuse to accept such a sad reality. Dijin artist, who cares? A Megakure village's angel, enough messing around. Get some rest. I have to wake up early tomorrow to deliver the letter to Kumagakure. This is an actor, good night, Konan-senpai. A Megakure village's angel, ha ha ha, that title. Good night, Aizen-sama. Curly-haired guy, you two need to stop this. Don't turn the group chat into your role-playing session. Dijin artist, having a boss like Aizen who loves giving orders must be tough. And now you even have to wake up early? Waking up early is the worst. Scarlet Lotus Fairy, think of it this way, if Aizen stops ordering Konan around one day, that would be even scarier. Skirt-flipping maniac, by the way, is it nighttime over there for you, Konan? Dijin artist, yeah, it's the time difference between different timelines. Anzen-san explained it before. You'll get used to it. Skirt-flipping maniac, wow, that's crazy. I just woke up not long ago. Oh yeah, I also have plans to meet someone important today. I need to get ready quickly. Curly-haired guy, hi? What kind of big shot does a middle schooler like you need to meet? Skirt-flipping maniac, it's an LV5 Esper, one of the 7 strongest in Academy City. This is an actor, Misaka Mikoto? Skirt-flipping maniac, I don't know her name yet. This is an actor, did Shirai Kuriko introduce you? Skirt-flipping maniac, yeah. Hi? How do you know Shirai? This is an actor, I see, so this is the start of Railgun? Curly-haired guy? Dijin artist, Anzen-san, what are you talking about? Notice, this is an actor has uploaded the memory a certain magical index/railgun. After the memory was uploaded, the group chat went silent for a while before messages started rolling in again. Dijin artist, YUVE got to be kidding. Ruko-chan, is your world really that dangerous? Scarlet Lotus Fairy, espers, magicians, angels, magic gods, and all those shady researchers. Skirt-flipping maniac, I didn't know either. After watching the memory, Satan Ruko started doubting her entire life. She was just an ordinary middle schooler with no abilities, so why was she living in a world where even Earth itself could be destroyed? Curly-haired guy, in any case, don't panic. Just find a time machine first.